Hello guys, my name is Alexander Ray, and I'm in Miss Baumgartner's 7th hour APR history class. And today I'm going to talk to you about Silhouette the Dead Horseman for the Shadowplay Roland by Henry Riviere, made in 1891 of zinc. Today we're going to address three big ideas. The first one is that artists manipulate materials and ideas to create an aesthetic object, act, or event. The second idea is that art making is shaped by tradition and change. And the third idea is that interpretations of art are variable. Now for the first idea, this is a performance piece, meaning that it was used with other pieces to create a performance or act or dance that other people could watch. Now this piece and other pieces that are very similar to it but not the same piece were positioned in a way in front of a light that cast a shadow onto a screen. And then these shadows would move and be directed in such a way that an audience would watch the shadows. This is called a shadow play. In this time period, shadow plays were quite common, and they were used in cafes to create a revenue, or a new revenue source, such as in the form of tickets, and then just to bring in more business to that cafe. Now, the piece itself is nothing but a silhouette, meaning that there's nothing inside the positive space, it's just black. Hence the name Silhouette the Dead Horseman. Now, off the back of the horse are jagged and slooping lines, coming off of the tail, which suggests a kind of slow and jerky movement, hence the jaggedness. Now, these lines also serve to direct the point of view from the back of the horse to the rider, and the lines on the rider are quite vertical and straight, which suggests rigidity and formality, creating a somber and slow feeling. Now, the contents of this piece are just a horse and its rider, and we know this rider to be simply known as the Dead Horseman. Now, this piece isn't used alone in the performance. It has to have a cast or accompanying pieces, such as a setting piece or other characters or even objects. And this piece itself has several functions. One function is an economic function, to bring in revenue to the cafe. Another is a social function. This would bring more people, and they would talk about the play, and they talk about the piece. Now, the second big idea is that the art making is shaped by tradition and change, and a tradition that this piece shows is the tradition of shadow plays. These plays were silent, usually, mostly done not in the theaters that common plays are done, but just in small cafes. And the change of tradition from the normal plays to shadow plays is shown quite gradually through, one, the use of simple materials such as cardboard that would then be cut in ways and shine against the light quite crudely to make plays that other people could watch. And then they started ticketing these plays, and they became more popular, until shadow plays were more popular than common plays. Now, the third big idea is that this piece is ominous and foreboding. We get a sense or a feel from the piece by the way it looks and what it's made of and what it's supposed to do. Now, the name itself is pretty foreboding. I mean, the Dead Horseman. The death in there and the dead kind of adds a sense of afraid or just darkness. The jagged lines coming off of the back of the horse itself also help this effect, in that they're jagged and look like tattered and torn cloth. And then the actual black shadow created by the piece, because the piece is supposed to make a shadow. And so all you see is a silhouette, and it's a black shadow, kind of like almost like a Tim Burton-y feel, you know? And that would also add to the effect created by the shadow. Alright, thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys later.